So what we are talking today may not apply to everybody. Some may think that, okay, the customer does not want to pay for it, why I should buy? The amount is too much for him. But how do you make the costing? Is it about only the hardware, or do you really look at the future prospects of the possibilities when your lift is internet connected? I mean, how many guys here, if anybody can raise a hand, who does not carry a mobile phone right now? Anybody? Okay, not even one. Okay, anybody carries a mobile phone with buttons? Anybody? No? Okay. So, where is Nokia? Where is BlackBerry? Do you know? They were the leaders. When Apple launched touch technology, they said, our customers don't need this. This is not needed. There are too many problems with that and this and all that. And we are happy with our buttons. We are the leaders. We will decide when to introduce technology to this market. They will decide when the consumer will benefit out of future technology. No, consumer decides for himself. You cannot decide for the consumer. Technology is enabling things that makes his life easier. They didn't understand and they are gone. And I'm sure all the industry stalwarts that are here will understand that we need to get on board, otherwise we'll be gone, maybe in coming 5 years. So that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about very simple technology that everybody is carrying in his hand, but he thinks that his asset, lifts is your asset, right? And I think you should see your asset. Like, I believe the people who are sitting here may be accountable to maybe tens of thousands of elevators right now. But where are these elevators? Can you see them? Do you know really what's happening with your elevators right now? Or they are only inside some files in your cabinets where you can see them and maybe, think about it that all these elevators are with you. The other industries have moved on. You go to transportation, you go to television, now cars, bikes. No consumer is saying that put me a smart screen on the scooter. No consumer. Why the manufacturer is putting that for him? Because he is thinking on behalf of the user that he is going to need this. The consumer also doesn't know that he needs this until he starts using it. Your customer does not know that he needs an internet connected elevator till you provide him that. Then he will say, why you didn't do this for all this time? He will ask you this question. What will you reply? You will only smile, right? So that's what we are talking about here. The endless possibilities with an internet connected elevator. Just to give you a brief idea about how the schematic is for the people who don't know. So there is your controller and there is cloud. Cloud is not like up in the air, but it's somewhere like a data storage connected to internet. So your lift connects to this data storage on the internet and it transmits the data. Okay, so the data storage keeps collecting the data from the lift, what is happening to this lift. And then from that data storage, you can access this data on your mobile phones, on your smart devices, laptops, iPads. So this is how very simply an internet connected elevator works. So what is the benefit? That would be the first question. Okay, it's internet connected. What do I benefit out of it? Why should I put in this money for if I'm making 100 elevators and if I multiply by that many, then I can buy a car maybe after a year, right? Very simple mathematics that all the businessmen sitting here makes about it. But they don't understand that an investment does not give you a return immediately the next day. Many times the investments are made to get a return over a period of time sometimes, which even you are not aware or you are not prepared. See this slide for an example. Very simple thing, 22nd March, I think everybody remembers on 2020 what happened. Everybody went into what our Pradhan Mantri, Mr. Narendra Modi said, that we'll go for a Janta curfew and Corona will be gone. That's what we all believed in, and then we also banged our utensils at the night that it's gone, right? But it didn't happen. But that was the day when we remember the COVID started for all of us, right? 22nd March. On 9th April, in 15 days, we released the functionality contactless elevator call system within 15 days. In India, a non-app based technology, we were the first. Because our system does not need an app on your mobile phone. Any Domino's guy, any Swiggy guy, any Zomato guy can come on the elevator, he can scan the QR code from his mobile camera and he can call the lift. It's that simple. Imagine if you had 200, 300 elevators installed with you, and on 10th April you would release this functionality for your all customer base. Sir, will you need this? I can do this for you. I can make your elevator contactless today. What he will say? And will he ask you the price about it? I don't think so. So that's the bus you missed actually. If this thing would have been there in your elevators would be contactless on 10th April itself. So that is what we call it as technology, where the technology is taking. You cannot think it in real terms right now. You have to think in very long terms. We are a controller manufacturer, but I believe in 5 years' time, we would not be talking that we are a controller manufacturer. Rather, today I want to say that we are not a controller manufacturer. We are a software company actually. And you have to decide whether you want to buy our software or not. It's as simple as for your mobile phone, there are 2 operating systems available. One is Android and other is iOS. So iOS proprietary, right? And there would be always proprietary systems available in the market, which would run on specific hardwares. Ours is an Android system. We are Google, okay? So our system basically enables your hardware, your elevators to do what you want them to do. It's up to you how you use our operating system and make your elevators do better job. We are providing only a platform to make your elevators better. Because we are not the ones who will make the elevator installed and the users will be using, it would be you. So you are our actually partners and we are only the base software actually. So what are the various possibilities? Like one of the example I gave you before, and this is one more example. Would you like to see this type of messages on your mobile phone or on your email or on your dashboard whenever a problem comes up with your elevator? So say you would get an SMS right now that a particular elevator in some building has tripped for some reason. Even your customer has not called you till now, but you already know that an elevator has tripped for some error, and the nearest guy, because it shows you the location also of the building, so the nearest guy can reach to that elevator before even the before your customer calls you. That's what monitoring of the error codes is. That's how it helps you to see the elevator before even your customer tells you. Okay, monitoring is something that we all know. What am I talking new about it, right? We know internet connected elevator, you can monitor things, you can monitor what's happening, your assets are online. But here I'm talking about is bi-directional. How about you control the elevator itself? How about you can actually reset an error sitting from this room? What if that is a possibility that you can solve a problem on the site sitting from this room? So as you can see on the screen, the controller itself can be controlled online. So you can do the parameterization, you can do the debugging, troubleshooting. So think about the endless possibility to keep the uptime of your elevators with this feature. In an electronic world, there is nothing like no breakdown. There is a life cycle of components and it's going to happen. And in fact, in any thing which is moving, mechanical, electrical, electronics. So how do we know when a thing is going to fail? What we can do, how we can improve the maintenance of our products or of our elevators so that even we know before they actually fail, like debugging of error code, good. It's a reactive maintenance. Something fail, you are doing something to solve it, right? It's a reactive maintenance. You also can schedule maintenance. Like you know that, okay, every 3 months I'll send a guy, he will do the lubrication and everything and he'll come back and my lift will keep running, right? But the components itself has a life cycle. What if we can tell you that this particular component in your elevator is going to fail in this much time and you should make a schedule maintenance to replace this? How will be that? Will you like that type of service from us where we can tell you exactly when a component in the elevator is going to fail? That is predictive maintenance that in our previous sessions we were talking about. What is predictive maintenance? How it is possible? Predictive maintenance is possible because when we are collecting data, when we have historical data, we exactly know that how the elevator is behaving with particular set of examples and which components gives problem at what time. So our server is constantly collecting data from all the elevators and day by day it is getting smart. Day by day through algorithms it knows that on this particular time this component usually fails. And then with that data we provide you that you will understand that okay, this is the life cycle of my components on this elevator on this time particularly is going to fail. So I will be able to do predictive maintenance and schedule it. What is machine learning? Like, you know, what if the elevator starts learning the traffic itself? That usually at what time particularly I need to be on some floor. Like you have not done any setting, there is no scheduling of elevator stop on any particular floor, but the elevator itself learns that I need to be on this floor at this time because usually the traffic is coming on this floor at this time, or usually you are coming out of your flat and taking an elevator exactly this time while going to your office and it's ready in front of you with an open door. How about that? This is possible when it is constantly collecting data, it is becoming smart. That's artificial intelligence. That's how machines learn. So these are the possibilities with internet connected elevators. We talk about maintenance, predictive maintenance. Okay, I mean, how about the user side, like the interface side? how the elevators can be useful to the actual users on the interface side. Possibilities of social profiling of customers. Like the elevator knows that Mr. Anurag Gupta has entered the elevator, and Mr. Anurag was looking to buy some shoes, and there is a shoes shop beside this building which is running a discount. And when I get in the elevator, it shows me this offer. And how about that? Say you have 1,000 elevators which are internet connected, and an ad agency can stream media content on the screens inside your elevator with targeted ad. You know, when you go online, Google shows you some ads. When you are on Facebook, Facebook shows you some ads which are specific to what you are looking for. So how much time a normal person is traveling in an elevator? What if the elevator was showing him exactly what he wants to see? And the building owner can generate revenue out of that content. The building owner can share that revenue with the lift company and with the provider of the technology. What about the revenue coming from this type of source? This is the possibility when your lift is internet connected. This is another thing, another angle. You have a lift in your home nowadays. People even in 2-story, 2-floor, 2-stop homes, they want a lift, convenience, ease of use, elderly people. But in a private home lift, if you get stuck, if for some reason some breakdown happens and there is nobody in the home to call out for, and since it's your private home, you cannot reach out to anybody. Your mobile phone does not have the network that you can call somebody. What you will do in this condition, this situation? With our R-Line interface, the passenger inside the elevator can give a call out directly to the lift company, like a normal mobile phone. And this call will work even inside concrete shafts, because we have designed the antennas in that way of our device that they will work. So this is the possibility that I'm talking about with R-Line, with this internet connected product, wherein you can actually have a call center, a toll-free number, where any passenger inside the elevator who gets stuck is directly calling your service center. Okay, we can go over a small example.
Hello. Have you met Arkel's augmented reality application? Thanks to the RTS application that you can download to your mobile device, you can easily install your R-Cube. Select, scan, place. The entire installation step is on the digital screen. This is much easier than any method ever. Easier than this. Easier than that. Even easier than this. With RTS, you can easily install and maintain R-Cube. Find solutions for error codes accompanied by animation. Download updated versions. Activate. Share by WhatsApp and email. Thanks to offline feature, use it exactly where you are. At Arkel, we make life easier for whom dream of better. RTS, future of your lift.
Yeah, future of your lift. That is the possibilities that we enable with our mobile app RTS in various regional languages, so that your technicians can make the installation, commissioning, troubleshooting, everything by themselves. It's like their own personal assistant in their hand. Maybe soon they will be calling out RTS also. Hello RTS, can you help me with this? So this is how we are connecting everything with our RKL Cloud, with RLift, with RLine, with RTIAS, and making an ecosystem for a smart lift. I think that was it about my technology part. Because I have limited time to wrap up, I'll just want to show you about us. Most of you know about RKL India operations, but these are some few pictures from our operations in Vadodara. We have around 50 employees in Indian operations, with branch offices in Delhi, Bangalore, and resident engineers in various other locations like Pune, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Hyderabad. So we are there across India with our sales and service. Picture from our head office in Vadodara. Everybody is welcome. We'd like to host you whenever you are when you are coming to Gujarat. That's it. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you.